So, what happens when you are transitioning and selling your brick and mortar or selling a business, getting ready to step into your reinvention, or you're just getting ready to go to that next place in the next season of your life, right? So, here I'm going to be talking about today some of the things I see over and over with the high performance, high level men and women that I work with that are stepping into the reinvention, meaning they're going into that next season. They're trying to figure out what are they doing in their mid 50s, going into their 60s. They're not ready to stop using their brain or be creative or have another stream of income, right? It's about stepping into your legacy body of work. And the hundreds of people I work with, there's one common denominator. So a lot of people that come to me, they are in the process of selling a business, right? I'll give you an example of Mary Beth. Mary Beth just sold a multi-million dollar spa. She was a spa owner for many, many years. That was her whole identity. And as she was going through this process, she was struggling a little bit because she was like so afraid of letting go of the old identity, right? She was so afraid of letting go of who she had been known as, right? And this happened to me too. I was a hairstylist, people. I was a hairstylist. My career started out at 19 as a salon owner, doing hair behind the chair, being a hairstylist. And as my career evolved and as I grew my other businesses and then I sold my brick and mortars and I sold my salons, I personally had an identity crisis at one point because I always identified as a hairstylist. I always identified as the salon owner. And when I started to add other businesses to my portfolio, I had to do some inner work and release my value and the identity that came with that. So this isn't just me. This happens to so many of us. So in Mary Beth's case, we did a lot of inner internal work on separating her identity as a human and her life purpose from the identity she had created for herself as almost a protective barrier, right? It's like when we're successful in business, after you're in business many years and you're creating massive, revenue and you're hitting high numbers and you've hit the level of success on paper, something happens because you're in that hustle that you forget that your identity and your value has nothing to friggin' do with your business, with the money you make, or with the identity that you've attached to. So inside of the Reinvention Advisory, I helped Mary Beth break through those limiting beliefs. I helped her really step into a place where she felt good about herself and she did not any longer need to identify as oh, that's the multi-million dollar spa owner or medi spa owner that owns blah, blah, blah. She became Mary Beth, the CEO now of her new consultancy practice that she is focusing on in this season because she had big dreams. Her dreams were not about money anymore. They were about getting an RV. And actually, I just talked to her before I got on this live. Getting an RV, her and her husband traveling the United States. They wanted to go cross country in an RV with their three dogs. Their children are grown now, out of college. She's like, Maria, she goes, it's not even about the money. She goes, but I want to do the things I want to do, and I want to have a business where I could just consult and take my expertise, package it up, and help other people with the experience I have. So that is exactly what her and I did. I helped her create her new high level consultancy where she can work from anywhere in the country, helping other spa and medi spa owners get to their multiple seven figures, because that's something she really was passionate about. And it came from a place of clarity, right? We worked together on her getting clarity, figuring out prepping her business for sale, her last brick and mortar for sale, and shifting into the new identity and not feeling less than, because this happens to so many people. Hi, everyone. I see you guys joining. Welcome. So if you're at a crossroads, I want you to think about these few things. And these are a few things I also had to think about because as a 38-year entrepreneur, I have sold multiple of my practices. I have exited many businesses. and have started other practices. So before I started the Reinvention Advisory and Maria Fontana Consulting, I was a brick and mortar business owner. I owned salon, I owned spas, I owned a cab company, I owned a beauty supply, a tanning salon, just to name a few, real estate investments. And every exit and every change in my life came with feelings of, what's the identity I'm carrying, right? There's a lot of emotion that goes with it. And you have to do the inner work when we're doing the reinvention, because without the inner work, you're not going to get the results that you're desiring. I'm thinking about another one of my clients, Michelle. Michelle also was a multiple successful business owner. She had 2 brick and mortars, and she was moving into semi-retirement and moving into more of a coaching space. She wanted to really focus on coaching in a different way and do things differently than she had ever done. When it came to us prepping and selling her second brick and mortar, she started to feel a lot of anxiety, because she was like, I'm so afraid that, how do I know I'm going to be good at the thing that I'm going into when I know I've mastered the thing that I've always identified with? And these are all normal feelings and things that we do work through together in the Reinvention Advisory Program that clients work with me one-on-one in. So the truth is, guys, if you are thinking about stepping out of your brick and mortar, you're thinking of changing your career or stepping out of a role and more into an advisory role, you're ready to reinvent yourself, meaning take your expertise, take your life skills, take your business skills, and step into a new place. I am going to be bringing something new to market in June, and it's going to be the Reinvention Certification Program. This is a program where I am going to be actually teaching and certifying my IP for you to become a reinvention certified consultant and help other people do what I'm doing. There's been such a large amount of people asking me, how did you do what you do? How did you go from being a hairstylist to owning a multi location and multi online business consulting practice and being so successful, and then buying a house in Italy and living between the US and Italy, and really co-creating a life that was aligned for me, especially because I created a lot of this after a massive downturn in my life and a lot of loss. So it's not like things were always peachy keen and smooth. There was a lot of bumps along the way, but the process of reinvention is about stepping into your next season in alignment. So I'd love to connect with you guys. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Join the conversation. I do help men and women. I have a lot of male clients that come to me who are in the process of reinventing, stepping out of certain roles, selling their businesses, or leaving corporate and launching a whole new sector of their life in that second season. I would love to connect with you. Connect with me privately here, or connect with me at mariafontana.com. Schedule a call. Let me have a conversation with you. I also have a reinvention audit, which is a really easy way to get clarity. You just go on mariafontana.com under services and you go to reinvention audit. So guys, looking forward to seeing you soon. Remember, your identity is not your business. Your identity is not what you've done forever. Your identity is not the career you had. Your identity is your soul, and your identity is who you are on the inside. And that can be shifted and changed any day you want. I went from hairstylist to CEO of multiple companies and consultant. So you can do it too. Talk to you soon. Sending you guys lots of love and light. Thanks for watching.